And as was mentioned earlier in the show, the focus of this segment is going to be a conversation with representatives of Stann Creek Ecumenical High School. Joining us, of course, all the way from the south to be able to tell us about some of their upcoming activities. We have joining us at this time social studies teacher at Stann Creek Ecumenical High School, Christy Garbutt, and we also have Miss Ecumenical 2015-2016, Ruth Lopez. Good morning and welcome, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having us.
Well, we appreciate you making the trip to our studios in Belize City. And of course, it's a great opportunity to be able to showcase a school from the South. So, Christy, let's just start off by talking about Stann Creek Ecumenical High, your student population, and some of the work that you guys have been doing there.
Okay. Student Ecumenical High School is one of the best schools in the South, and I'm not just saying that based on my biased opinion, of course, but let's look at the facts. Our school have garnered top CXC honors over the past years. We are comparable with schools in Belize City. We have the third highest number of students getting the most certificate of excellence, and we also have very good results in terms of ATLIB. And we do all of this with meager resources, and that's why we're here this morning asking for support for our different fundraising ventures, because we really do need that support. And if we're going to continue with excellence, then we need that extra support. One
of the things we know about Stann Creek Ecumenical High, I mean, in addition to your excellence in academics, you're also great with athletics as well.
Yes.
It's usually that the ecumenical teams will be very formidable and people from anywhere in the country will be looking out for them. But we also know that you have had such a growth in your student population that keeping up with being able to have them in adequate classroom spaces is also something that you've been working on for some time.
Yes.
So tell us about that.
Well, with being the best, people want to be a part of the best. Yeah. And so 5-year span, we went from having 600 students to almost 1,000 now. And this school was bursting at its seams. We had students in laboratories, we had students in libraries, waiting on the completion of our building, which is now completed, and we do have students in classrooms. However, the classrooms are still very overcrowded, and the resources in terms of having students having access to the computer labs is a problem. And that's one of our purpose of this fundraising venture, is to purchase computers for our new laboratory that we have, as well as developing a student resource center. Because we have students who still have difficulties getting to internet and getting printing done. So if we have this resource center, it will be a lot better. And imagine how much better our students can do, even though we're doing so well without
those resources.
Yes. Marlene was talking about some of the programs that you have. One that springs to mind for me has been the music program that you've had. How does that continue to function?
It's a struggle, William. We have our band and majorettes, we have our orchestra, we also have a cultural group which focuses on the Garifuna music. And we do all of these things, but it's very difficult in terms of financing. But we do what we need to do to make it happen.
Yeah. Let's bring in Ruth for a second. Ruth, tell us a bit about yourself, how old you are, what class you're in, and why you chose to go to Stann Creek Ecumenical College.
Well, I am 17 years old and I am in fourth form, the art stream. And I chose to go to Ecumenical because it's a very intelligent school, and I think that I could excel better at that school.
What has been, as a senior especially now, so you're looking back at the 4 years, what has been the best part of your high school experience at Ecumenical High?
Well, it will be going up for Miss Ecumenical. Yes, it was. I never thought that I would have done something like this, and as I did, I have no regrets. It was something.
What made it memorable for you?
Everything, really.
What prompted you to do it?
I don't know.
You had friends who said you should do it, or
no,
you just wanted to take a chance?
Yeah.
Yeah? And what was the experience like?
It was amazing. And I get to meet new people and interact with a lot of people. So.
What does being Miss Ecumenical mean for you? You're a representative of the school. You're here on national television speaking on behalf of the school. What has that been like as a personal experience?
Well, it have been something that I never thought that I would have done, of course, but I really like it, and I would like to do it again sometimes.
And what has the experience been like for the last year representing the school and also interacting with your students across the different forms?
Well, it's coming to an end because I have to give up my crown. It's really bittersweet, and I really wanted to go up again, but
you're graduating.
Yes.
And the fact that she's the reigning Miss Ecumenical, can't go up again.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the school and some of the fundraising efforts that you have.
Yeah.
Obviously, the pageant is one such venture.
Yes.
Is it well supported by the community?
Oh yes, it's well supported by the community. We always have a large turnout, and I'm also expecting this one to be, you know, one of those big ones. As you remember the one in 05 that you hosted.
It's usually
when
fun.
I was a candidate.
Oh, so you were a past Miss Ecumenical?
Yes, and that's why we hold it with such great passion, because it's my alma mater. I'm going back and I'm doing the things that I like, because being a part of the Miss Ecumenical pageant also placed me in positions that I'm able to speak with eloquence. It gives me that self-confidence that I need. I'm showing and illustrating to these girls that it's good to speak out and be a purpose.
Yeah. And that's a fascinating point that you raised, that you have been a former Miss Ecumenical. What do you talk to the girls about when they're signing up to be a part of the pageant, as to what the experience means? It means something to everybody different, but having had filled the shoes, what do you share with them about it?
I let them know that it's not about winning.
Yeah.
It's about the experience, and there's also the perks. The clothing, and they get the traveling, and they get all of these experience but the main thing is getting that self-confidence. A lot of people don't like to say this, but pageants really do promote self-confidence, and it also promotes eloquence and etiquette, and we all need that as ladies. We all need that as young women trying to be someone in the future.
Now, when you're talking in terms of recruiting, is it highly competitive, and how do you select who? How many classes do you have, and do you select a representative for the first form, second form, or it's based on the class structure, or as many?
We have no structure. We make it. We have an application week. The students apply, and then after seeing the application, some of them backed out, and after speaking with me, we have our first meeting with everybody who does apply, and after speaking with me, and I tell them, you know, you'll have to be on the stage, you have to be doing this and doing that, then some of them, you know what, miss, I think I'll give it another year. And then the ones who are really serious, they stay in, and they gain a lot of, like, we have a lot of fun times during practice.
How long in advance do you start preparing for the pageant itself?
Oh, well, we started from January, and the students were quite aware from even the year before, because from the beginning of the school year, I had girls coming up to me, Miss, I want to go for Miss Ecumenical. So, okay, application will be out in December. So we actually started practice in January.
So how does the pageant raise funds for the school?
Well, there is an entrance cost.
Yeah.
And based on that entrance cost, that is the money we gather.
Okay. And as you pointed out, that this is actually something that will equip your computer labs.
Yes.
For the school.
Yes. Currently,
how many computers do you have? What's the status of the lab?
I believe we have like 16 working computers. 60 working computers.
For a population of 1,000?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're very tight in terms of resources, as I mentioned before.
Yeah. So this is a way for people to be able to contribute and have a great experience in supporting the young women.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's the date and start time, etc., for the pageant?
Okay, the Miss Ecumenical pageant is going to be held on April March 17th, 2016. That is going to be a Thursday. The start time is 6, and we're going to run approximately up to 9:30. We are asking for the residents of Tangriga and surrounding villages to come and support us. We know that you normally do, but we're expecting you to come out with a bang this year. We will have family packages, so bring the kids out. We're going to put packages together, and we're going to make it affordable for everyone to be a part of this prestigious event, which will be filled with specs and glamour and everything, a spectacle of an event.
What are the prices for the tickets?
The prices are $5 for students, $6 adults, and as I mentioned, there's family packages.
Where will it take place?
At the Ecumenical Auditorium in Tangriga Town.
Okay. We do have the other candidates here that we could go ahead and showcase at this moment. You can do a very quick introduction.
They can
Ladies.
come on.
We can walk right behind. Yeah. Now, one of the things that people perhaps from Belize City don't know is that the students of Ecumenical are not only from Tangriga Town. You have from a lot of the surrounding villages, from the valley that come to the school itself because of its prestige, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So we have equal participation. Who's from Tangriga Town? Let me see your hands. All right. So we have half from Tangriga Town, and the rest of you are from Pomona, Belize, and Pomona as well. All right, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Good morning, Belize. I am 17-year-old Diana Espinoza, presently a fourth form student. On the night of the pageant, I will be depicting a soldier.
Good morning, Belize. I am 16-year-old Carolee Arana. For the night of the pageant, I will be depicting a police officer.
Good morning, Belize. I am 15-year-old Jasmine Tasher in Form 2. On the night of the pageant, I'll be portraying a bank manager. Thank you.
A pleasant good morning, Belize. I am 13-year-old Lidisa Paneke, a first form student, and on the night of the pageant, I will be portraying a lawyer. Thank you.
Good morning, Belize. I, 13-year-old Leonie Castillo, is presently a first form student, and I will be depicting a tour guide for the Miss Ecumenical Pageant 2016 to 2017. Thank you.
Good morning, Belize. I am 14-year-old Antonisha Gabriel, presently in first form. On the night of the pageant, I will be depicting a doctor, specifically a pediatrician.
So there you have it. You also, and I like what they're talking about is having a professional theme that they have to adopt as well.
How did they decide on what to depict?
Well, as a committee, we decided to we picked a team this year, and this year we decided to portray professionals with the theme being, let your passion become your purpose, and it will one day lead you to your profession.
Okay. So as you mentioned, the pageant takes place next week, Thursday. And as we had mentioned earlier, you also have your annual fair coming up, and that takes place when?
That is going to be April 29th. That is the Ecumenical Explosive Extravaganza.
Yeah. And that's...
quite a title.
Yeah. It's on the weekend, right?
That's going to be on a Friday.
Okay, on a Friday.
Yes.
So what time does that one start?
That's going to be an all-day event. Okay. We start from the day from 10, and we go into our annual school concert. That is going to be at the auditorium, so we end late off in the night.
So your students will be performing at the end of the night?
No, we have artists. We have artists that comes in. Oh. Yeah, well, I'm not sure of the lineup yet, but we do have local artists that comes in. Yeah. But even before that, all of that, we also have, believe it or not, tomorrow we have a relathon. We have the Ecumenical Relathon, and it's going to be boys versus girls, or young men versus young women. The boys are running from Kamalote to Ecumenical, and the girls are running from Belmopan to Ecumenical, and who reaches first will then take the title of winning.
And who won last year?
Unfortunately, the boys won last year.
So that means the girls are coming back with a vengeance.
Oh yes, the girls were training all this while, so I believe the girls will be victorious.
All right.
All right.
Well, we want to thank you all for joining us and coming to showcase the candidates that are going to be a part of the pageant. Ms. Ruth, we expect what's next for you after Ecumenical High?
Ecumenical Junior College.
All right. And you're going to continue in arts?
Yes, I will.
Okay, great. Well, ladies, best of luck.
Thank you.
All right. And Ms. Christie, thank you for joining us as well.
Thank you for having us, Marlene and William.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and take our break, and when we come back, it's to talk about fencing in Belize, so stay tuned.